Hi everyone, Emily here from Emily Reads, and today I have for you my um, 2023 reading goals and also my TBR for January. So first, I usually don't make reading goals. I usually just kind of read as things take me, and this is my first time ever really making focused reading goals. So I'm kind of actually excited about that to see how things will go. Um, One, I'm not sure if I'll finish, but I tried to make them where it is achievable. Some of these I'm not going to start until June, but at any rate. So here are my goals in my always fully booked planner. And what I like is that every quarter they have like where did it go? They have a quarterly check-in. So, whoops, sorry. This is the check-in for March. So I will do my check-in in March and I'll update, and I might have to change these goals throughout the year, depending on if I achieve them or find out like this isn't working for me. So goal number one is I want to read 36,500 pages or 70 books. Now, that is actually more reading than I will have done this year. I know a lot of people are trying to slow down their reading. For me, I want to do more reading simply because I still feel like I'm spending too much time mindlessly scrolling on Facebook when I could be reading. So that's why I have added more reading goals. I only did 70 books, which is less actually than what I will have read for this year, but that's because I have a whole ton of big books planned. I want to read the Stormlight Archive, and I'm working through Wheel of Time. Those are chonkers, and so I have less books planned. The next goal is finish the Florets and Blots reading challenge. I didn't really do anything with it. I started it last year, or actually technically this year because it's still 2022 as I'm filming this. So I started it, but I didn't really keep up with it. This year I hope to keep up with it and actually finish it. I have filmed already the books that I'm planning to read for that challenge. So I've got the books down. I know exactly, they're all books that I own. They're all for my physical TBR. I don't have to go hunting for books. And they're all books that I want to read. So it should be a pretty easy, fingers crossed, challenge to finish. Then the third goal is I want to post a review on Goodreads for every book read. I have a Goodreads account. I've had it for years. I don't use it. And I want to start using it because I would eventually like to be able to get those arcs of books that I want to read. And I know that in order to have to be able to get some of the books that I want for the arcs on like NetGalley or other places, I need to start doing the reviews on Goodreads. Number 4, 6 months of a book buying ban. That could be just any 6 months throughout the year. I have tons of books. I have over 500 books, and I have over 300 books that I haven't read. And now, to be fair, those numbers are skewed because I do, like, if I read a book and I'm never going to read this again. Like, I know that, like, I enjoyed it, but I will not pick it up again. I unhaul it. Like, I'm looking at my pile of books that I read this month. I've read 1, 2, 3 books this month that I know I'm going to be unhauling. Actually, 4 books I'm going to be unhauling this month that I read this month. So, so there's that. But also, like, there's some things that I need that I need that I need to save up money for. And so I need to make sure that I just watch what I'm spending. And then I have 3 social media goals. So one, I want to learn how to edit videos. So I will probably like that's more like a summer goal. Um, so that way I've got dedicated time that I could learn how to do that and play around with it. I am that kind of person, like I need a checklist. I need a list on how to do things. I need step-by-step instructions. I'm not the kind of person that I'm like, well, let me just play around with this and see how this works or whatever. So if I can find like some tutorials online and just learn that way. So that's my goal. Number 2, create a schedule for posting videos. That's actually kind of what I'm planning, like I don't know if you can see it, my January calendar to be. I don't know. I might also write in like what books I'm reading on this calendar. I don't know. But I would like to have a better schedule on posting videos. And then 3, I've done a lot of readathons. This goal comes from just having done a lot of readathons this past year. I've done a ton of readathons, like almost like once a month since the spring. I'm actually not doing a readathon in January just because I need to slow it down, and I haven't found a readathon for January that fits with what I want to read for January. So I'm not doing a readathon this month. But I've decided, you know what? I think I'm kind of interesting to develop a readathon. I don't know if I can do it, but it might be interesting to do it. And I kind of have an idea for a Realm of the Elderlings inspired readathon. I have some beginning thoughts on like what the teams would be, what the prompts would be, and I would stick only to like having the inspiration be drawn from the Farseer trilogy and Life Ship Traders trilogy, simply because I want to avoid spoilers for future books. So, but that's kind of like a thought. I didn't say with that goal then I would actually host the readathon because I would need to find some co-hosts, so it's dependent on other people. And also like I don't know if I'd finish developing that readathon. So, like I said, I have some ideas. I might start working on it next week. I have time off still from work. So I'm on winter break. So those are my goals for 2023. And like I said, I will do quarterly check-ins. I might revise those goals during the quarterly check-in as I attain some of the goals. Now, for my January TBR, so I'm using actually 2 different journals. Like I have my always fully booked planner, and then I have a blank notebook because there aren't a ton of blank pages in the always fully booked planner. And I've already created this spread before the planner came. So this is for my Flourish and Blots reading challenge. And so the first book I plan on reading in January is Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. I did read this actually back in the fall of 2021, right around when the TV series on Amazon Prime came out. And I actually enjoyed the series. Now, remember, before people start like coming at me, I have not read all of the books. I've actually only read this book. And so that's, I think, why I enjoyed the series, because I had nothing really to compare it to. I just was able to get lost in the story. But I did enjoy this book. And Kate from the Literary Apothecary and some others, I don't know who all is involved in hosting the read-along, but they are starting a Wheel of Time read-along in 2023. And they're going to read a book a month. And that had been my plan for 2021 through 2022, was to read Wheel of Time, a book a month. And Robin Hobb took over. And I'm okay with Robin Hobb taking over because she's just absolutely phenomenal. But I had a hard time I realized I couldn't maintain that pace. So hopefully this year will be the year of Wheel of Time. And that book would fit the prompt for my Flourish and Blots challenge. Let me see if I can find it now. It could be like Kitty Bell, a character gets cursed. I thought I had another one. Nope, Katie Bell, character gets cursed. Okay, then the next book I plan on reading is Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. And this is the first book in her, is it the Earthseed duology? I don't know. But it is a duology. It's the first book. And this is set in the early 2020s. We've got global climate change, economic crisis, and sounds kind of similar like today. And this is set in California. And I'm looking forward to reading this. I've heard really good things about this and Octavia E. Butler. I read Kindred last year and want to read more of her works. And I'm part of this group on Facebook called the Napping Bibliophile. And we meet once a month via Zoom. It's at the last Sunday of the month at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we meet and discuss books. And we read one book a month. And we were choosing books at our last meeting in December. And we threw out some ideas. And I said, hey, what about Parable of the Sower? So I suggested this book. So now I have to read it because I'm the one who suggested it. And everyone was totally on board with reading it. But I do want to make sure that I read this and so that way I can be part of that discussion. And for the Flourish and Blots challenge, this would fit Fred Weasley, a duology. So this would be the first book in the duology. Then the next book I want to read is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. So I picked this book because it's a shorter read compared to other things that I'm reading. And this would fit the prompt for the Flourish and Blots Quidditch involving a sport. From what I understand, this involves hockey. From what I do understand, there are some trigger warnings. So I don't know when. I might read this like over the Martin Luther King holiday weekend to just give myself some time to process this book. And this would also fit a prompt for reading around the world, as Bachman is from Sweden. So this will fit that country for that. Then the next book I want to read is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. As early as back like October, November, I knew that I wanted to reread Realm of the Elderlings. And so I don't know if I'll read from this beautiful illustrated edition or if I'll read from my UK paperback, only because I've annotated most of the books except for like the first two books of the Farseer trilogy. I didn't annotate those two because I first was like, I don't want to write in the book. I don't want to tab anything. I don't want to mess up this beautiful book. And then I just was like, nope, I'm just going to underline and write and tab. So I might read from the UK version and then kind of like tab and mark when the pictures come up in here and just look at the glorious pictures as I read. This, I don't know if it fits anything for my Flourish and Blots. I'll have to go back. I have a few other Robin Hobb books that I'm going to be using for my Flourish and Blots reading challenge. And like I said, I'm going to start rereading Realm of the Elderlings, but I'm going to just take it slow. Because I want to make sure that I focus on reading down my physical books. And then the last book, this is if I have time. I don't know if I'll actually get to this, but that would be Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book in the Stormlight Archives, and I've read Mistborn Era 1, I've read Elantris, I've read Warbreaker, and I need to continue on with some more Brandon Sanderson. I am getting the physical books for his secret projects this year. So I want to make sure that I start focusing more heavily on Brandon Sanderson so I could also enjoy those secret project books sooner rather than later. And for my Flourish and Blots challenge, where did it go? Sorry. I should have written up a post-it note what I was going to use this prompt for, or this book for. Where did it go? It is, I know that this is Curses. Is it here? Here we go. Sorry about that delay there, folks. The prompt is Draco Malfoy, a large fandom following for the book. For sure, Brandon Sanderson, Stormlight Archives has a huge fandom following this book. Like I said, I am super excited to read this. There's a part of me that wants to ditch Eye of the World and just start in on this. So who knows what I might do? There's no way I can do both at the same time. But I'm looking forward to this. And they've got some beautiful illustrations in this book. So it's going to be a good ride. And that is it. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5 books. So I feel like it's not a lot, but look, I've got 2 massive chunkers on that pile. So that is why I'm just keeping it very simple for January. Because I know I'll be going back to school, winter break will be over, and I already know January is going to be a busy month for me at back to school. So let me know what your thoughts are. What are some of your reading goals for the upcoming year? What are you hoping to read in January? What do you think I should prioritize on that list? And as always, happy reading.